So in a basic sense, apps are designed in order to run either directly on the platform for which they're designed, on top of a smart device's mobile browser, or even by mixing the two. So in this lecture, we're going to define characteristics that qualify an app for its respective place in mobile app taxonomy, as well as discuss the differences for each variation. Let's have a look at native apps. So mobile operating systems, including Android and iOS, they come with a software development kit, or SDK, in order to develop applications specific to the OS. A software development kit, or SDK, is a collection of software development tools in one installable package. Such applications are referred to as native to the system for which they've been developed. So when discussing an app, the general assumption is that it is a native app implemented in a standard programming language for the respective operating system, Objective-C or Swift for iOS, and Java or Kotlin for Android. Now, there is some ambiguity that exists when discussing native apps for Android, as the platform provides two different development kits. So there's the Android SDK and Android NDK. The SDK, which is based on Java and Kotlin programming languages, this is developed for developing apps. The NDK, or Native Development Kit, is a C development kit used for developing binary libraries that can directly access lower-level APIs. So it's possible to develop C and C++ apps using the Android Native Development Kit. Now, the most obvious downside of native apps is that they target only one specific platform, right? To build the same app for both Android and iOS, one needs to maintain two independent code bases, or maybe introduce often complex development tools to port a single code base to two different platforms. It's up to you. Web apps. So mobile web apps are websites designed to look and feel like a native app. These apps run on top of a device's browser and are usually developed in HTML5, much more like a modern web page. Launcher icons may be created to parallel the same feel of accessing a native app. However, these icons are essentially the same as a browser bookmark, simply opening the default web browser to load the referenced web page. The biggest advantage is reduced development and maintenance costs associated with a single code base, as well as enabling developers to distribute updates without engaging the platform's specific app stores. Hybrid apps. So hybrid apps work across multiple platforms and behave like native apps. So a hybrid app is essentially a combination of a native app and a web app, although this type of app can be installed on a device like a native app. It technically is a web app. These types of apps run in an embedded web browser, commonly called WebView, and these are built with HTML, CSS, or JavaScript and run in a web view. So here's certainly not an exhaustive list of more popular frameworks for developing hybrid apps. You may be aware of some of them. There's Apache Cordova, React Native, Iconic, jQuery Mobile, Google Flutter, Framework 7, NativeScript. So now we get into progressive web apps, or PWA. Well, these load like regular web pages, but they differ from usual web apps in several different ways, actually. For example, it's possible to work offline, and access mobile device hardware is possible. Usually, or traditionally, it's only available to native mobile apps, right? But they're built using common web technologies, including HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Progressive just means that it works for every user, regardless of browser choice, using progressive enhancement principles. So PWAs combine different open standards of the web offered by modern browsers to provide benefits of rich mobile experiences. A web app manifest, which is a simple JSON file, can be used to configure the behavior of the app after installation. And it will specify the name of the web application, links to the web app icons or image objects, the preferred URL to launch or open the web app configuration data, the default orientation of the web app, as well as the option to set the display mode, for example, the full screen.